Hey guys, this is Jon Di Bella, one championship fighter, and you're watching Story of the Fight.
What is up, Will?
What up, what up?
Welcome everybody to Story of the Fight. My name is Ramiro. That's my boy, Will. This is where we cover all things combat sports. Today, we're going to be covering UFC Fight Night England, and we're also going to be covering 172, right? Hey, but what an intro, man, with Jon Di Bella.
Yeah, we got the Bella on the intro, setting us up because we're going to talk about his fight. We're going to talk about Tawanchai versus Noiri, Superlek, Nabil, Phetjeeja, Kana, Rodtang versus Takeru, and then Sean Brady versus Leon Edwards.
Whoa, superstars left and right. What's going on here? But yeah, this is going to be a great episode, though. We're going to be starting off with 172, right? So super excited for that. Friendly reminder, though, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Goes a long way. We're trying to reach 20,000 subscribers. Hopefully, some of those thousands and thousands of viewers that joined us for the live stream joined you for the 6 hours. Holy smokes! Well, hey, props to you.
There's a reason I got the glasses on. It's because my eyes do not work this morning. Yeah, we're just coming off. We're 3 hours removed from the end of 172. We did a fight companion. Let's just jump into it because I'm running on fumes. But we did a fight companion for 172. It was fucking awesome. The event ends. I get 30 minutes of sleep. Start prepping for this show. We're here now. We're live. And that's how dedicated we are. And that's how dedicated our fans are. Like Austin, already in the chat. He also stayed up the entire night watching that with us. Midnight to 6 a.m. So let's go, you legends, for coming to us so soon after being up the entire stream earlier. Man, crazy. But that's what this type of event demands.
The people are calling for it. People want it. Shout out Chester saying wild. Yes, Will being up for 24 hours now, I think, was pretty wild. But also the event itself. Oh, yeah, that's right. You got 30 minutes of sleep. Good for you, Will. Proud of you, man. But look, everybody was talking about this. We said this could be the event of the year. I know it's only March, but still, when you have an event that's stacked like this, Will, you got to have this feeling in your gut. You know what I mean? Saying, hey, this is going to be it. And did it deliver? Score 1 to 10, Will.
Yeah, score 1 to 10. I don't know, man. 9.5. It's up there, dude. It delivered. There's a couple mishaps, right? Like, obviously, the Murat-Gregorian fight, that fell off last minute.
Yeah.
Post weigh-ins, that fell off. And then Superlek missed hydration. So they stripped him of the belt, and they dropped his fight down on the card. It's no longer a title fight versus Nabil.
The drama. I feel like there's always some drama like that starts building up as we get closer to the fight with one, right?
Yeah, and it happens. Just the nature of the hydration tests. But, and then, as Anonymous points out, the pay-per-view debacle. Yeah, the pay-per-view went down. The stream went down. They were like, we got too much traffic. It's unsustainable. We cannot hold it. It's too many people. But they were refunding everybody. I think they got a situation. I'm not sure. Our stream was fine the whole time, so thank God. That would have sucked if we were up at 3 a.m. and then the stream went down for us. But luckily, it stayed solid. And the fights that did happen, which were most of them, we only had a couple mishaps. They all delivered. There wasn't one bad fight the entire card. But we can start with the main event.
Let's go. Let's say we go with Takeru versus Rodtang. Jitmanon, man.
Ooh.
Thoughts?
I have so many. Okay. This fight was the reason that Takeru came over to one of the best kickboxers on the planet. He has the match with tension, which was like one of the biggest things ever in kickboxing. It was crazy. He has a couple more. He's like, I want to go to one and fight Rodtang. Everyone's like, no fucking way. That's going to be awesome. And then they sign him, and they try to make the fight, and Rodtang gets injured, so he fights Superlek instead, and it's an incredible fight.
Banger.
Yeah, but he loses, and then they're trying to make this work.
And so Takeru loses, but even though he lost, you're like, oh my God, that Rodtang fight is gonna be insane, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And then it's been years since we've been trying to make this happen, and we finally get it. and it's in Saitama Super Arena. There's 5 title fights on the card. It ended up being 4, I think, right? But it's just so stacked, and everything's leading up to this fight, not even a title fight. That's how good this is. We got multiple title fights underneath this.
So good, man. So good. So the fight starts off, right? And one of the things that you had mentioned was the mileage on Takeru, the fact that, throughout his career, he's been able to eat a shot to be able to deliver a few of his own. But at this point, can he still do that? And can he still do that against somebody that delivers power like Rodtang?
Yes, exactly. And I'm like, skill for skill, I think Takeru might be a better, like more skilled striker technically, but that doesn't always matter. And like you said, the mileage and his style, it's gonna catch up to you. And you know, if people don't know the results, Rodtang knocked him out in what, a minute and a half, something like that,
Something like that.
in round 1. There was a little bit of a feeling out process, not much, and then they just fucking went at it real quick, and it was over, and it was pretty shocking. But a lot of people are gonna think, okay, Rodtang just came in and smoked him, and that was it. But it's not just that, because here I got some screenshots. There's not a ton of footage or photos up yet. Hey, shout out Combat Sports today. Will
Will
is
is
alive,
alive.
barely,
Bro.
barely. The eyes aren't working, but um, but shout out Phil for coming on there, doing the fight stream with us. That was awesome. So go
Absolutely.
follow Combat Sports today. But look at this. This is the first significant exchange of the fight. Rodtang walks straight into a punch, a hard punch, but he's tough as nails. And then he clips him with the left hand of his own right after this. Rich, if you want to go to the next picture. Bam. So it's a game of inches with these guys,
Yes.
right? Like Takeru lands, Rodtang just lands harder and after. And you're like, okay. Rodtang, even after this exchange, he even takes a step back and is like, oh, he got me. And then
Yeah.
bam, the 3-2 literally turns the head around of Takeru. But Takeru's still there. This one didn't even really wobble him somehow. This is the record scratch moment. You might be wondering how I got here.
Yeah.
But so yeah, he cracks him. That's a very hard shot, but Takeru's still in it. They circle. Rodtang follows him to the ropes, throws a low kick. Takeru checks it, brings his knee up, checks it beautifully. You're like, okay, nice. Because the Superlek fight, the leg kicks were such a big deal, right? They go in, and I think the next picture, Rich, is a big left hook that Rodtang enters with. Cracks Takeru, but he's still there. He takes a step back. Bam, uncorks a big overhand right that cracks Rodtang. And you're like, son of a bitch. And in the moment, none of I didn't see any of this really. I'll be honest. I was seeing double. I'm like awake for.
It's not just that, but sometimes you see the head whip back, or you see the reaction from the fighter that gets hit that helps you see these strikes that land.
Yes.
Rodtang just kept on marching forward.
Rodtang no-sells this. And not only does he no-sell this, he cracks him right after it. If you want to go to one more picture, Rich. Bam.
Boom.
Look at that left hook, dude. But he just ate a shot. And that's what I'm talking about. It's a game of centimeters with these guys. They're both so good. It just happens to be that Rodtang hit him harder and Takeru couldn't take, but he took 2 hard shots already.
Yeah.
And really wasn't showing anything, but it's just these split seconds where they're landing on each other. And even that left hook from Takeru does land on Rodtang in this shot. But
and then Takeru falls.
Takeru goes down.
He goes down hard, man.
He goes down really hard.
One of those you had mentioned that he puts his glove down on the mat and like it just kept on sliding forward. He looks over at his corner, and his corner you could see him going,
yeah,
like telling him breathe, calm down, deep breaths, deep breaths. And I think while they were doing that, Takeru's staring at him. But when you have that that stare where it's an empty stare,
it's dazed.
You don't know if he's registering what they're telling him. And Olivier waves it off. Just as he waves it off, Takeru tries to pop up.
Yeah,
when he does pop up, he's still he's still a little wobbly. Right? It was a very good stoppage from the boss.
Yeah, and what a left hook.
Man, leading up to this, the crowd was on fire, man.
Because the co-main was something else.
The co-main was something else. Japan had been showing up. The Japanese fighters had been showing up very, very well.
Oh yeah,
the entire night, so they were just pumped.
Yeah,
And even
100%.
after this, like the crowd was still pretty good, but you could tell that the wind had left all the sails.
Oh yeah, yeah. Not for Rodtang though. Rodtang was full of wind. This dude was all over the place. He looked ecstatic, and I want to say, I think this is proof that Rodtang, when there's a caliber of opponent that he's matched up with that he deems like worthy of putting in the work, he shows up, dude. He
Yeah.
absolutely shows up. I know people have criticized him for his performances against some of the other fighters that he's faced, but because people will say like when he was supposed to fight Superlek, people are like, okay, yeah, but look what he did with so and so. Look how he fought. He went life and death with so and so, and Superlek's outclassing these guys, and it's like he's not on the same level as Superlek. But then he shows up and he almost beats Superlek, and you're like, okay, I think it's just one of those cases where he fights to the level of his opponent. And dude, he took this one serious, dude. Hired Peter
Yeah.
Miller, the nutritionist, looked shredded. I mean, came for war, and yeah, he took him
Ready.
out quick.
Came prepared. Just one more time. Well, I know where you mentioned it, but Anonymous, Austin, now Chris
Yeah,
Smith, all the same people that were joining us live during the stream. Like, wow. And
they're
they're here
back
with us
already.
now.
Yeah,
Amazing.
and to Anonymous's point, I think Takeru could have gotten up sooner. I think maybe I kind of, that was my initial reaction too. I thought if he sprung up literally a half second sooner, that fight may have continued. I don't know if that would have changed the outcome. I think, like you said, he did wobble. He took a step, like a catch
Yep.
myself stumble right after he propped up. But that was my initial thought as well. But yeah, Chris, surprisingly, he was up yesterday. I don't know how you're here too, Chris. All these people were there for the whole stream, dude.
I know. Savages.
Respect.
Absolute savages.
Yeah,
But yes, what an
post
amazing
fight.
fight. And
Yeah, I mean, it was
I
just
know some people like Phil and myself, right? Like
yeah,
we were expecting a war, and we're like, even if it's 2 rounds, 3 rounds, like, but it's a lot of back and forth. Somebody else had mentioned that this reminded them of the Haggerty Superlek fight. Well, it just
mhm.
ended a little bit faster than expected.
It's kind of like
But at the end of the day, Rodtang did what he was supposed to do. He went in there, he finished his fight, and it was a good way to cap off the night.
and it happened quick, but they really did. They cracked each other a couple times. It's not like this was
Yeah.
just like he didn't walk out and left hook him and it was over. Like they landed on each other almost every exchange. So I mean, very cool. It's a cool one to rewatch and see all these shots that landed because yeah, when it happens quick like that, you don't really see it all. But
Hey, shout out Ganscow
hey, shout out
joining
Ganscow.
us.
But Chatri says Rodtang versus they're gonna do Rodtang Haggerty 3. That's gonna be fucking awesome. Yeah, Chatri confirmed Haggerty versus Rodtang next banger. I'm
Hey, let's
hoping
just do
that's
it in
Denver.
Denver.
Yeah.
Come on, let's just do it
Yeah,
in
dude.
Denver.
And
Stop messing around.
Takeru was talking about how if he came to one to fight Rodtang, that would probably be his last fight. And he said that he's not going to make that announcement just yet. And Chatri had some words with him, and it's actually a pretty cool clip of Chatri talking to him to try to like get his spirits up and stuff. And they're speaking Japanese, so I'm not really sure what he's saying, but you can see Takeru replies almost like I don't know if he's like apologizing or either down on himself with what he said, because then Chatri's like, no. And he like goes all hard. And you're like, fucking you, dude. Like he's like, you're fucking sick. And you're like, all right. It's a cool video, and
I love how you translate some of these things in
that's
your
my
head.
translation.
Yeah.
That's my translation. You can tell by
That's so funny.
the emphasis, you know?
Yeah.
But
And
yeah, so Rodtang Haggerty, Takeru, I don't know what's next for him, but man, just what a legendary career if that's it, you know?
yeah. He can't go out like that though.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Give us one more in Denver. We're just trying to
Takeru in
stack the
Denver.
Denver card, dude. Why
Selfishly.
not?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anything else on that main event though?
No, but yeah, what a main event. Fucking crazy.
What a main event. We had a co-main event also that was just as shocking, if not more. We had Tawanchai versus Noiri.
Tawanchai versus Noiri. Dude, look, if you go onto our Instagram the post we made when we announced this fight. Also, fantastic fucking face-off. What a cool face-off this is.
Yeah.
But
like a Chachi in the middle putting a spell on people at the same
yeah,
time.
about to shoot lightning bolts like Palpatine. But go on that post. There's already people commenting on it. I'm getting notifications of people replying to other people saying when they announced it, everyone's like, "Why the fuck are they doing this? Noiri's gonna get smoked. He's got nothing for Tawanchai." And there's already people going in the comments, be like, "What was that? What was that about that?" Because, dude,
Hilarious.
because what were the odds? It was like a minus 900 favorite for Tawanchai, I think.
Yeah, for Tawanchai. Plus 600
Yeah,
for Noiri.
yeah, because Noiri has struggled in one, dude. He really has. He got a nice leg kick TKO where he broke the shin in his last fight, and they gave him the title shot, probably because they're going to Japan. But um, up until that, it's been a struggle for him in one, and he's had a very, very highly respected career in kickboxing before coming to one, but also a lot of mileage.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, man, I don't know if maybe it's just a little too late. No, it was not. This fight was
Yeah.
amazing.
And it was heavy leg kick, right? Tawanchai going back to that teep kick like he usually does.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
good weapon for him. And we had
Mhm.
been mentioning like, hey, very like leg kick heavy, teep kick heavy. Like
Mhm.
we got to start seeing them let go of their hands here pretty soon, right?
Yeah, and we talked about, Tawanchai's really improved his boxing, and we saw that in the Super Bone fight where he pieced him up with the hands, combination punching. And as we're talking about that, Noiri starts letting his hands go. Um, but yeah, that teep is so fucking money right there. The way he turns his toes across the body rather than straight up. Really cool technique that he talks about. Um, Yeah, Anonymous says, I was surprised Koss let Tawanchai continue after the first knockdown. Looked like he got hit by lightning. Ooh, that's a cool way to say it. I like that. Because so basically what happens is Tawanchai is kickboxing, so you can't clinch a knee. But a lot of times you'll see them frame with their forearms and then throw a knee. They'll step in with that knee to the body, right to the chest. And he does that. He lowers his hands to kind of frame off and throw that knee. He's on one leg. And fucking Noiri just throws this left hook, dude. The lightning strike from the gauze comes over the top of him while he's on one foot. And he just drops, dude. That was
Yeah.
shocking. Legitimately shocking. So
Yeah.
cool.
Tawanchai too tough for his own good though, huh? He still got back up, eating a few more shots, but I think that's super impressive as well. With that was Noiri's approach at how he's going to try
Yes.
to finish it, right?
Yes. Yeah, and here's the shot of him landing that left hook over the top. And yeah, he goes down. And like you said, well, what's funny is I thought he was going to get too reckless by how he initiated the next exchange because he goes down. It's never good when the arm goes back like that. If you're
Yeah,
looking at
yeah,
Tawanchai
bad
here,
sign.
instead of like pressing up to get up, it's like, oh, because you have like no control over your limbs. Um, but he gets up, and as soon as they're starting, Noiri's like falling into the batchman, the referee, trying to get at him, and I was like, whoa, dude, chill, 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 don't go too crazy. But then once they actually like started it, he like kind of pumped the brakes a little bit and and
Yeah,
and went in cautiously. Um, controlled aggression, you could say, because he didn't up until that or from that point on, I don't think he stopped throwing punches. He just
no,
it was just
barrage, man,
like 40 punches, dude.
so
I mean,
good.
and we were talking about it. It's just like left hook to the liver, right hook up top. He shoulders into him, pulls back to slip the counter from Tawanchai, and then another left hook off that. Like I mean, he just poured it on him and got the standing TKO. But man,
Did not look like somebody that came in plus 600 underdog.
absolutely not, dude. They put him in Saitama Super Arena. He's like, you got me as the underdog, dude, for the belt.
I'll show
The
you.
belt's on the
I'll
line.
show you.
Oh my god, dude. And yeah, he really made a huge statement. Chester says, I actually like this win a lot. Then we get different opponent for Superbone instead of Tawanchai for the third time. Agree. Definitely agree. And this one, what a turnaround for Noiri in one. He struggles, he drops some fights. He gets that leg kick TKO in his last fight, and you can see him when he jumps on the cage and he's like screaming to the crowd. You're like, fuck yeah, dude. Like, that must feel so good. Hey, shout out DQs. Thanks for joining. Upset of the card for sure. But then he gets a title shot that everybody's counting him out still after that last win. Then he comes out and knocks out Tawanchai, dude, in Japan. Like, so cool.
Nuts. Shout out official Lewis as well, saying, "Hey, just popping in for
Hey,
for a little bit. Really enjoyed the event today." And no, yeah.
hey, shout out.
What a night for Japan, for the crowd. Again, we talked over and over again about how big of an underdog Noiri was going into this fight. What a special moment for Noiri as well. Was it his kids that were in there crying
Yeah, his kids were in
along
there
with him, right?
crying.
Like what a
Yeah.
moment, man! Off in the corner, the camera pans to him. His wife's crying, his daughter's
Yeah.
crying, his son's crying. Like just all the emotions pouring out of the family, right? Just
And
like
Noiri
immense
with a
pride.
huge smile on his face while he's holding this 25-pound gold belt
What a
in
moment,
Japan.
dude!
I mean, yeah,
What a moment!
this is the type of stuff that really does make combat sports like just the greatest. And Anonymous says, I wonder how Noiri does against Superbon. Oh my god,
Mm.
dude! And now I want to see it so bad.
We
Like,
should, and we should see it in Denver.
book it, put it in Denver.
We just built the craziest Denver card, guys.
Yeah,
Chatri, I hope Chatri's tuning in right now. We're taking care of this for you.
yeah.
Matchmakers right over here. All right.
But yeah, this was. I wanted to also talk about the last time they had their big Japan card. There was a lot of controversy with Chachi saying like because the Japanese fighters did not do well, and he talked about how yeah, this is what happens. Japanese fighters come to one and they get smoked, and everyone's like, why would he say that? Like, what is he doing? Like, he's trying to build an audience here. He's gonna piss off all the Japanese people. Like, whoa, why would you say that? But look what has happened since. And I
Yeah.
think we talked about it with Phil last night, where like people take that at face value, but what he was doing was, at least I like to think what he was doing, and if it wasn't, I think unintended consequences. Uh, he lit a fire under these Japanese fighters. 'Cause after that, all of a sudden they're all talking about coming over. People are saying K1 without the number one. They're doing ONE because all these K1 fighters are coming over because they want to test they're like, oh, you said that about Japanese fighter? Let me fucking show you. And
Yeah.
then so they come over and they have this event again, and they literally built this card. Chachi talks about it. This is Japan versus the world. The card is stacked with Japanese fighters for most of the fights,
Yeah.
and bro, they showed out, dude. Takeru didn't get it done in the main event, but Noiri is a huge deal knocking out Tawanchai for a interim strap. That's fucking cool, man.
Super
Really
awesome.
cool.
And you are like a Chatri whisperer. He's
I
like, this is what
understand
he
him,
said,
dude.
but this is what he said. This is what he really meant.
He was he was speaking Japanese to Takeru, but really, but
Like
I know what
just
he said. I
Google
know what he
translation
meant.
in your head.
Yeah. And when he said
So
this about
funny,
Japanese
dude.
fighters, I know he was trying to light a fire under them and get them to come over.
Oh, that is so funny. All
Bro, I'm
right.
like half delirious right now, by the way. So if I say some stupid shit, feel free to call me out on it.
No, 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 no. Hopefully, there's more delirious things that are said. All right.
Yeah.
Anything else on the co-main?
Oh, damn. Anonymous says Japanese fighters come to one and take the belts. Damn.
Such a solid market for him,
Damn.
right?
Yeah, very cool. But no, we can move on. We can move on.
All right. We also had Adriano Moraes versus Yuya Wakamatsu.
Yeah, and as official Louis says, would say Yuya shocked me as well. I mean, we're a little fresh off the matchups, so we don't have a ton of photos from some of these matches. So some of them I had to supplement with screenshots, but um, yeah. So this one, vacant strap, right? MMA, Wakamatsu, Japan again. Japan versus the world. Moraes coming in here. Right off the bat, you can see Wakamatsu's trying to start quick. He's throwing heat.
Yeah.
Walks into a good punch from Moraes. There's a couple times where he was going a little too aggressive, and he got caught. But overall, he found really nice work with the dirty boxing. I know we all love
Yeah.
dirty boxing,
Who
uppercuts, collar
doesn't?
ties, all that shit. It's so cool. Um, and yeah, this one had it. This one definitely had it. He found that uppercut.
When Moraes was actually working that jab, like stepping back and working the jab,
Mhm.
he was kind of stopping some of the momentum from Wakamatsu. But what ends up
Yes.
happening is when Wakamatsu continues pressuring and we continue pushing Moraes closer and closer to the ropes or the corner,
hmm
then where does he continue going back to create that space to land that jab?
Yes. Yeah. Especially in a ring, right? No, it's not a
Yes.
circle. So you can
Yes.
get trapped. You could definitely get trapped.
A
And he
circle
got
doesn't have
trapped.
corners. A ring has
Yeah.
corners.
Think of it. Circles.
Yeah.
Uh,
Absolutely
yeah.
trapped him. And dude, that pressure from Wakamatsu continued going when he caught him in the
Yeah.
corner, right? And he just starts
Just
unloading.
yeah, just volume, uppercuts, hooks, back to the uppercut, more hooks, popping the head up of Moraes. Moraes eventually has to go down,
And then
and he just
Moraes also goes into like fight or flight because at that point, what are you going to do? Right? Because
yeah.
he's getting overwhelmed. All these shots being thrown your way. He could try to move laterally, move out of the way, circle out around. He can't. So he decides, like, there's one of the shots where
Yeah.
he gets caught. You can see him biting down,
Mhm.
and he kind of throws
Alright.
some shots himself. Doesn't land.
Doesn't land. Wakamatsu did.
Wakamatsu does.
Dude, but how sick is this picture to get the finish in the corner with the belt just right there in the
That's a good
background?
shot.
Fuck,
That is a
man.
very good shot.
That's so cool. I love how they have the belt on display. It's so
Wakamatsu with
cool.
the dude wipes on his shorts. I think that's what it says. I'm also translating. I don't know,
Yeah.
but just phenomenal night for Wakamatsu.
Yeah, this was a big one, dude. A big one again for
Oh, another
Japan.
good. Hey, photographers, man, getting down.
Yeah. Austin's
So
second
good.
most shocking fight for me easily. I thought Adriano coming was going to get another easy win because I remember watching their last fight live and wasn't all that competitive. Yeah, I mean, he got him with that guillotine in the first round, I think, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, we got a shout out Beaver. Thanks for joining. Do you agree with Chaudhry, with what Chaudhry mentioned about Taito and his fear? Oh, Taiko with Marat Gregorian or
Saying that
Kaido, I
he
mean,
took the easy way out.
took the easy way out. Um, Look, Marat missed weight by a tiny bit, right? And he couldn't provide a hydrated sample during the official like allotted window. Usually, with one, if that happens, there's a secondary window, and if they make it there, they can negotiate a catch weight, things like that. Um, Kaido was saying that he thought Marat maybe wasn't healthy, and he didn't want to fight him if he wasn't healthy. Is what my understanding. They tried to urge him that he was. Marat wanted to fight, obviously, and he didn't. I don't want to ever say anybody's scared to fight, um, but that being said, uh, it's not a good look. It
Not a
doesn't
good
make
look
a
at
whole
all.
lot of sense to me to go through the whole
Yeah.
camp, make weight, do all that stuff. The guy misses by like a tiny bit. Eh, I don't know. You have every right, in my opinion. You have every right as a fighter to deny a fight if someone misses weight
Yeah.
against you. You do. You 100% do. Um, but yeah, I don't know. That one's a little bit much to me.
Uh, Anonymous saying today I learned Wakamatsu is the first person to ever finish Adriano. Not even the legend
Yeah,
Demetrius Johnson could finish him. That
yeah.
is crazy. All
All-time
right.
blunder there by Mish.
Classic. So funny. All right. Anything else on that fight?
No, but just a really cool moment. It was a great fight, dude. First round finish in the MMA title. Come on, let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. More title fights, man. Just stacked with title fights. We had another one. Our boy, the one that helped us out with the intro, Mr. Jon Di Bella versus Sam A.
Look, there's also not a ton of photos from this fight. At least there wasn't when I was making the slideshow. They might be uploaded now, but I mean, just look, we love DeBella. That's well documented. He started this episode. Um, I really
Little
do
bias going in?
100%. Full disclosure,
Yeah.
massive bias. I think Jon Di Bella, it's maybe my favorite interview that we've done on our channel.
So
Just
good.
it was very fun to have him on and talk with his family. And
Him and
just
Adrian Lee. I don't know.
I know, very good too, but
So
it's just
close. So
I don't
close.
that Di Bella one was just so cool to me. And then Sam A. We're both Sam A fans. Turning back the clock, he's been on this crazy tear knocking people out. His chin is back. He's taking shots. And even Di Bella's talking about how when I came to one, it was to fight Sam A for the belt. And then he retired. And I was like, man, I really wanted that fight. Now he's back. We get this opportunity for the interim belt. So it means a lot to him too. There's a lot of respect here. Everybody
Yeah, and
respects
who
Sam
doesn't
A.
like a good underdog story, man?
Yeah.
He loses and everybody's like, "Oh, he's old, his age." He comes
hmm
in, beats Hamidi, comes in, beats
Of
Zhang,
course. just a left hand, dude. From
Yeah, and so,
hell.
like, how can you not love Sam A too?
Yeah, so this is one of those fights where it does suck to root for someone because then you're rooting against the other, and it's like, but not. I no, just wanted a good fight. I wanted the Bella to win, but I wanted a good fight. Um, and yeah, we got. I mean, we got. I thought Mitch was talking about how this was like 2-2 going into the fifth. I don't know how. I thought DeBella won every round, but maybe I'm biased. I don't know. You could just see the volume from DeBella, the aggression from DeBella, but then the big power shots from Sam A to like disrupt that rhythm. But the problem is, I don't think I've ever seen anybody disrupt Jon Di Bella's rhythm. They might stop him in his tracks with one strike, but I've never seen somebody get Di Bella off his rhythm or off his game. You know,
Yes.
he's like
Yes, no,
unshakable.
absolutely, and then, they were trading, leg kicks,
Mhm.
and Sam A was landing some heavy leg kicks, man.
His
Uh,
looked way worse.
yes, and
They
it
looked
almost looked like,
damaging.
they were landing right on the side of the knee, right? So I
Yeah,
was like, "Ooh,"
like
but
Nongo.
it didn't seem to really affect him, like, his movement was still there,
And
like
that's
you said, his rhythm
yeah,
wasn't thrown off, and then DeBella did such a good job of continuing to attack that lead leg of Sam
yeah,
A, but
debilitating.
the effect was
Mhm.
different, right? Sam
Yes.
A couldn't really plan on that foot anymore. Uh, it you could just tell Sam A had to kind of make some adjustments throughout the fight,
Mhm.
because some of those strikes that were working from in the beginning of the fight weren't really working as we got into the third.
Yeah, exactly, and, both southpaws, so you're like, "Okay, I see that left hand," and, they both were landing the left hand. DeBella ate some shots this fight, dude. That left hand from we talk about it all the time, power's the last thing to go. Sam A still hits like a truck.
Yeah,
Hits like an absolute truck, and there was a couple times where DeBella ate that left straight that a lot of people can't take, and then snaps his head back, and he's, like I said, unshakable. Back to the game plan, back at it, and,
yeah,
uh and there was a couple times where he had Sam A, like, hurt, wobbled on shaky legs, the legs already half debilitated from the leg kicks, and then now he's hitting this right hook that's, like, really wobbling him, but, I mean, it was a fun fight and just a really slick performance from DeBella once again.
very good, very
Give me all
good,
5 rounds.
extremely fast. Dickey saying, this event was better than UFC London. Absolutely agree. You know,
Not
one of
even
the toughest
close.
parts for us today, I think, is going to be like, how do we carry the energy over from talking about this card and these fights
Yeah,
over to when we cover UFC London? We'll figure it out, though. We always do. And
we
then
might not.
Will might fall asleep.
Yeah.
Uh, Anonymous, DiBella has such a slick fighting style. Might not be a KO artist, but he unleashes volume and accuracy. The
Yeah.
speed, man, the speed at which DiBella attacks is insane.
Yeah, and that's one thing that Chatru talked about in the post-fight press conference. He said, "Yeah, I think DeBella could have finished him, and he didn't, and I just don't." He said, "I don't see the killer instinct in him." And again, maybe you don't have to say it like that. Maybe maybe it's the same thing as the Japan comment. He's trying to light a fire under DeBella to get a finish, but and he did say like we've talked. Me and DeBella have talked about this. I've talked about this. I've talked to him about this. I've talked to his family about this. Like this isn't like I'm not just throwing him under the bus in front of all you people. Um, but I don't know. I think you don't have to all be knockout artists necessarily. And for him to say he feels like he could have got Sammy out of there, but then not make the same comment to Nabil, who I thought probably could
Mm,
have gotten Superlek out of there a couple times,
a
but
lot
didn't.
closer to getting him out.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that as a knock against Nabil because I don't think it's a knock at all. I think the fact that you hurt him multiple times is very impressive, and I think that the same can be said for
Yes.
DeBella. You don't have to necessarily get the finish to be impressive. I thought this was a really good performance. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, DeBella got the belt again. He's gonna fight Prajanchai next to unify the belt, hopefully in Denver.
Denver, let's do this. Denver,
Yeah,
lock it in, dude. I think we already set the card.
yeah.
We're good. We're good. All right. Anything else on the DiBella win?
No, very cool to see the show of respect between the two. You can see DeBella has a legitimate like reverence for Sam May, and it is cool to see.
I love it.
That's what
I love it.
when
All right.
Chatri's talking about this lack of killer instinct and stuff. He should be talking about that reverence that Jon DeBella shows because that's a core value of one, and that should be talked about and championed.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Before that, we had another title fight. We had Phetjeeja versus Kana.
Yeah, and again, not a ton of photos in this one. Actually, I don't think there's one photo of Kana landing a strike.
But she did.
So, yeah, this slideshow is going to make it look like it was an absolute ass whooping from Phetjeeja, but this was a very competitive fight.
Oh,
As we go to
I
this,
mean, you start with that one, bro. Come
yeah,
on.
but there just wasn't a ton uploaded yet by the time we had to make this slideshow. But another one where, like Noiri, Kana has kind of struggled as she came over to one and hasn't been able to perform it from what we've seen in her past previous fights outside of one because she's a world beater. And a lot of people were like, "Oh, she's only getting this title shot because they're in Japan. They want another Japanese fighter in a title fight." But dude, she looks so good.
Well, her combinations, man, the
Yeah,
speed, and she was ripping to the body multiple times. So she was taking whatever Phetjeeja was giving her, right? Like
dude,
she
when
had this
they go
one.
for your forehead and bah, bah, bah,
Was
bah,
it
bah.
was it right to the body, left over, or was it left to
Mhm.
the body, right over? I can't remember exactly what it was, but that combination was working very nice for her. Phetjeeja would go through and clinch, or like as soon as it get really close like that, she'd just start ripping to the body.
Yeah, so
So
cool.
good. Beaver, by the way, says kind of had a great performance,
100%.
100%.
We were
Stock
very,
goes
very
up.
impressed.
Stock
Stock
goes up
goes
for
up.
Kana, right?
Yeah,
Even with the
definitely.
loss.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
Phetjeeja's scary, dude. She's like a scary striker. People don't like win rounds against her often. I think
yes.
she's on another level from most people. And Kana was right there with her the whole fight. We talked about this during the stream. She might have. I think realistically, I'd have to rewatch it, but I think Phetjeeja probably took 4 rounds. I think
Mm,
you could argue a 3-2 win for Phetjeeja, but I think she probably won 4 of the rounds. But some of those rounds were like this, dude, like
yeah,
very, very close. It's not like Kana was blown out in this fight whatsoever.
100%. All right.
Yeah.
Anything else on the Phetjeeja fight?
Anonymous makes a good point. I think Phetjeeja's rusty from being inactive and leaving Medi's team. Yeah, that was some big drama show over there.
Big drama show.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. That could play a factor, and I think also Kana coming back to Japan for this fight, there's probably and having so many of her teammates here fighting as well, you
I
know?
think people are underestimating just how much this home field advantage, if you want to call it, helped out our Japanese fighters in one,
Dude,
right?
they showed up, dude. They
They
showed
have
up, they
so much
showed out.
pride in,
No pun
their
intended.
people, their nation. No pun intended, yeah. I definitely think that that showed,
Yeah, definitely,
right? All
definitely.
right.
A great fight. That was a really, really good fight. I loved it.
Probably the most shocking moment of the night came up when it was Nabil versus Superlek.
Oh my god, dude. So yeah, the backstory, Nabil versus Superlek. Superlek missed hydration by like a tiny, tiny bit, so they strip him. No more
By like a
belt for
drop of
Superlek.
water.
Yeah. Yeah. No more belt for Superlek. Hey, shout out Coleslaw.
What up, coleslaw?
These events are second to none. Definitely. This was a fucking crazy one. But so yeah, they take the belt away from Superlek. Nabil is the interim champ, and I'm like, maybe they're gonna promote Nabil to just if you strip the champ while there's an interim champ, probably becomes a champ. No, they didn't. But yeah. So they dropped this from a 5-round fight to a 3-round fight, and there's some backstory here. Chaudhry explained. Actually, shout out Nick Atkin, the boy, the homie Nick. He asked in the post-fight press conference, why did this become a 3-round fight instead of just a 5-round fight with no belts on the line? And Chaudhry said that Superlek didn't. After all that, Superlek didn't want to fight, and
Hmm.
they convinced him. Part of the way they convinced him to take the fight or continue with the fight, was to drop it to 3 rounds instead of 5. That makes a little sense. Just judging by like just how he looked, his demeanor, things like that. I just there seems something off with Superlek. I don't want to take any. I'm not trying to take any credit away from Nabil, but
Because he looked phenomenal.
dude, he looks so good. And I don't know if a more prepared. It didn't look like he. I was telling Cyrus, it looked physically. Superlek looked like he was someone getting into a fight camp, not finishing a fight camp. as they were getting close to the weigh-ins, and I was like, oh man, I don't know. Like Diki says, Superlek shape looked sloppy as fuck. Yeah, it just didn't look like he took this one serious or something. Maybe there's other things going on, but that being said, with the way Nabil fought, I don't know if it would have made a difference, even if he showed up shredded, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Nabil basically he frames the first round. It's a good round for Nabil. Superlek's having a hard time with the range. It's nothing like their first fight, and Nabil just frames, knees him straight in the chest, drives him all the way to the ropes, and as Superlek bounces back off the ropes, he hits him with a straight right hand that completely stuns him, wobbles him. He high kicks him as he's falling over. He drops him in the first round. They call it a knockdown. Literally saved by the bell in that first round.
Oh, 100%.
That was crazy.
10 more seconds, he would have been finished.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And then from then on, it was just Nabil just throwing everything with the kitchen sink at him, dude. Knees, elbows, jabs, long punches. Like just a legitimately masterclass performance from Nabil. If you're a long fighter and you want to figure out how to fight long, watch what Nabil has done on this run that he's had since losing to Superlek, because it's been very impressive. This is shocking.
One of the things too that was shocking to me was just, and I know I mentioned it on the stream, but Superlek, if you go back and watch a lot of his videos, just has a tendency of just stepping back and just like kind of leaning back, Matrix style, to avoid some shots. You know what I mean? Wows the crowd a lot of the times. But when you're going up against somebody like Nabil that has that kind of reach, man, that just takes one step and can boom, just snap something at you right there, throw a high kick, teep kick you still when you're in that position. You got to make some adjustments, man. And for me, it was pretty surprising considering that one of the things that I've always really loved about Superlek is his high fight IQ.
Yes.
That he wouldn't have made that adjustment before going into the fight.
Well, yeah, I just don't know what something seemed off about Superlek on this one. It really did. And like I said, I don't want to take anything away from Nabil because he fought phenomenally. He high kicked Superlek that he hit him with that same high kick he knocked out Carrillo with. But I don't know. An official Louis says, how would he defend his flyweight kickboxing belt if he can't make bantamweight? He can make bantamweight. I don't know. There was something off here. If he gets Peter Miller back, he worked with Peter when he fought Takeru. We see what he does with Rodtang. Nabil works with him. Nico works with him. Like if he takes it seriously and works with a nutritionist and is disciplined to set up for a fight, he can make it.
Yeah, Dickie's saying Superlek asked for 3 rounds because he had his training camp at KFC. Also, Kentucky Fried Chicken looking to move their headquarters to Texas. I'm pushing for them to change to Texas Fried Chicken. Yeah, boy. Let's correct the name, you know?
The old TFC, dude.
Yeah. All right, man. But what a phenomenal fight. What a performance by Nabil. And probably the most shocking moment of the entire night.
Yeah. And Anonymous says I think they meant flyweight. I know, I get it, but I think he still can. It just requires work and discipline, and I think he can. Austin says Superlek's gonna have to go through that Rodtang training arc before the rematch for his belt, because if he doesn't step it up, this guy's coming for his throne. I mean, yeah. Bieber says Superlek almost died. Oh man.
Oh no.
That was a crazy fight, dude.
Up next, I believe we're going to cover our boy Adrian Lee, right?
Yes, we're going to skip a couple fights just for the sake of time. Your boys did a 6-hour stream right before this. So we're skipping to our boy.
I was only on for about 3 hours.
But yeah, we're skipping forward to our boy Adrian Lee. Had a late minute change of opponent about a week ago, I think, taking on Takeharu Ogawa. What, dude? Adrian Lee put on some mass for this fight, by the way. I know he's barely 19. He just turned 19, so that's just naturally going to continue happening. But he looked pretty jacked in this one, dude. I was like, all right, Adrian Lee with the strength and conditioning.
He's not even fully developed, dude.
Yeah. But this fight, dude, he just immediately pushes him up in the corner, clinches with him, hits a sick-ass takedown across his own body, takes him down. Really cool.
Yep.
As Ogawa starts to build to his knees to try to get back up, he just reaches that leg way back and fucking delivers a nasty knee to the face on the ground, which is just so cool. He
So hard.
mixes, dude, he's one of the most impressive at mixing like this type of stuff in and really taking advantage of one's rule set. He is so
Yeah.
good at it, just naturally. Yeah, he cracks him with his knee, and he's like, "Oh!" And he starts getting up, and then he, boom, in that moment, the knee opens up an opportunity on the neck, and he sinks in that anaconda, rolls him over, does the gator roll, and then tosses his hips over on top of him, collects the leg with his leg, hip to
Such a
hip.
nice gator roll too, man.
Dude, it was very impressive.
So much strength behind it. You could see his opponent Ogawa trying to prevent it, but he just had no choice, dude. He had to go with it. It was so strong.
He did try to fight.
Props
And
to
that's what I
Adrian,
talked
man.
about. You weren't there yet, but watching this live, I was like, dude, Ogawa did the right things once it was locked up. Like he didn't make any mistakes. How many times do we see people leave their legs out and they get them hooked and then now they're hip to hip and you get the pressure on the choke. He didn't. He was fighting well. It's just Adrian's a dog, dude. He's a dog.
Yeah.
This was what, 90 seconds or 60 seconds?
I don't know, it was pretty quick, but it was a very impressive performance nonetheless.
Yeah, and look, a lot of people are going to say level of competition, things like that. Yes, but let's not forget he's 19. He just turned 19. He doesn't have a huge amateur career. He doesn't have a huge like professional career. He just started. Man, this is 3-0. This is his third professional fight. Obviously, he has a lot of competition experience with jiu-jitsu and things like that. But
wrestling,
we shouldn't be throwing him to the wolves.
No,
people are like, oh, they're going to give him McCann. It's like he's 3-0, dude. He was 2-0 going into this. Like, and Ogawa looked fine, dude. It's just Adrian's on another level, dude.
Yeah. No, for
Anonymous
sure.
says he did the right thing by tapping as far as like submission defense.
Yeah.
But yeah, Adrian, very impressive. Another bonus for the boy.
3 fights, 3 bonuses. Dude, and always so humble on the mic, right? So genuine and just like charismatic guy. You know, he's like, "Thank you. I'm saving it, but thank you."
The savings. Very
so
cool.
funny, man. Oh, I love it. All right. And then I know that you wanted to give a shout out as well to Shinya Aoki.
Yeah, just a couple shout outs on the card. Look, I think at this point we're maybe going to cover just the main event for UFC London because that card was horrible.
Yeah,
but
I'm fine with that. I am so good with that.
Okay, so yeah, just real quick, this card was so fucking good. We don't have the time to cover everything, but I want to give a shout out to the boy Shinya Aoki. 10 years he's spent with one. He pulls guard within like 10 seconds of their fight against Full Yang. Overhooks the arm, brings his right leg over the shoulder, across the face, hits him with this sick ass modified armbar / omoplata type submission, and just really cool to see him get that done so quick and just so cool. It's classic Shinya Aoki style. Back in the day when I was like in high school, back when he was fighting in Dream, that his highlights were like discovering Shinya Aoki like as an American was like, who the fuck is this guy with these rainbow spats and he's hitting flying arm bars and flying triangles and tapping people out and then flipping them off as he's releasing the submission. Like it was just like, this guy's a fucking animal, dude. And
he's like the Japanese Diaz brother.
Yeah, 100%, dude. And you hear him talk, he's got this smoker's voice. It sounds like it. I mean, it's crazy, dude. So to see him get emotional after, get the win, a submission, the classic pulling guard into a modified type joint submission, it was just classic Shinya Aoki. So to see him go out like that is just really fucking cool. I want to give a shout out also to Nadaka Yoshinari. He fought Rock and legitimately put on a masterclass performance. That guy is absolutely incredible. He was on a 1-fight deal for this, so hopefully they get him back. Akimoto versus Lineker was fucking awesome. Nadaka's cousin, Shimon Yoshinari, he also fought Yodlik Pet, looked phenomenal as well. Hugh got a great knee knockout. So yeah, it was just a fantastic card all around. Really, really good job putting this one together.
So good. Are we gonna do a moment of silence on this one?
Nah.
Monies?
Bonuses, I believe Adrian Lee got a bonus. Wakamatsu got a bonus. I believe Noiri got a bonus as well, and then Rodtang. They didn't put post up with all of them, but I think that's who got it.
Awesome. What a fantastic card, man.
So cool.
Lived up to the hype. Looking forward to their next pay-per-view. Hopefully they prepare for all the pay-per-view
Traffic.
buys, and because I really think that if not for that, they would have banked off the pay-per-view on this event.
This would have been a
was gonna
big
be
one,
huge
dude.
for them.
And I think they're getting a lot of talk about this, which is good. A lot of people showed up. The venue looked fucking packed.
Yeah.
Saitama Super Arena looked packed. Yeah, the production was fantastic. They had a lot of eyes on this. They're giving it out for free. They're giving refunds to people. So I mean, it's horrible. The pay-per-view that does suck. It really does.
But they're
suck.
doing the right thing after. They're handling it right.
They're handling it right for sure. And the more people who talk about this and watch this, they're gonna be like, "What the fuck is this, dude? We need more of this." Because holy
100%.
shit, what a card!
Awesome. All right. Well, that was it for 172. Now we're going into UFC Fight Night England.
It's UFC London.
London. Whatever, dude. London. Whatever.
I'm gonna
All
say
right. Your
lose
boy's
my
also
number.
tired.
London.
Yeah. Just look, dude. Okay, wait. As we get going, reminding everybody to like, subscribe, hit the notifications, all that other fun stuff. To your point, we're probably not going to cover every single fight on here. It wasn't the best card ever. Maybe we do something similar where we just cover the main event, and then after that, we just touch on a couple different things. I think that's the way to do it, right?
Anonymous is like, all right, I'm out. I respect it.
Dang, dude. Hey, always appreciate the support, though.
Yeah, thank you.
Always appreciate the support.
It was fun.
All right.
The fight campaign was fun.
So we had UFC Fight Night England. Just kidding. London. We had Edwards versus Brady.
Yeah, Sean Brady versus Leon Edwards. Leon, first fight since losing the belt, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so
in a minute from
he comes out. Sean Brady clearly wants to grapple, right? Everybody knows Sean Brady's gonna want to grapple. How does he start the fight? He starts the fight by swinging and banging for the first 5 seconds. And you're like, you can see Leon Edwards was like, "Oh fuck, dude, what are you doing?" Like, damn, dude, chill.
Yeah.
And yeah, after that, I mean, what can I say? Brady looked very impressive. His grappling was very good. Takedowns were good. Leon Edwards very good in the clinch still. I think his clinch work in the UFC is some of my favorite to watch.
And dude, Leon Edwards is no punk, man. His takedown defense is solid. He has shown it against multiple opponents. So the fact that Brady was able to do what he did to Leon Edwards with the takedowns over and over again, such a good job with his top pressure, right? There's a couple times where, Leon was either posting up, looks like he was about to start getting up, and he wouldn't worry so much about anything else other than just maintain position, right? Which was super solid. Did such a good job for me. Like when you come in and start blitzing and throwing a couple shots, and he'd do the clinch right after that. So you see it's just a setup, but if Edwards wasn't careful, he'd get cracked with one of those shots. And look, dude, even Brady, he got caught a couple times when he was coming in and blitzing.
Oh yeah.
But not deterred.
And the biggest the blunder in this fight, dude, was I think it was the third round. First round was close. I think Sean Brady probably took it, but it was close. Second round was like all Sean Brady. It was a mauling on the ground. He almost gets him with that Kimura. Third round, Leon's cracking him on the feet.
Yeah.
And then classic Leon, he defends a takedown, and then he's like, "I'll shoot one of my own." And you're like, "What are you doing, dude?" Because he immediately gets sprawled on.
That picture where he's like, "Oh no." Look at that.
He immediately gets sprawled on, and then Sean Brady, you're not going to build a base off on Sean Brady in a sprawl. Sean Brady's going to circle. He's going to take your back. He's going to roll you through. Like, it's not going to happen, dude. And Austin says, huge Edwards fan, so this one sucks. Dude's so good, works so hard. Keeps getting fed to grappler after grappler. That's welterweight, man. Well, actually, no. Let's actually make that point. This was supposed to be him versus Jack Della, right?
Yeah.
Jack Della pulls out a striker, literally just a striker. There would be zero grappling in that fight. The only grappling would be when Leon decides he wants to shoot a random takedown. But very different matchup. He gets Sean Brady, and Sean Brady mauls him.
Yeah.
Very impressive, though. He gets that guillotine. mounted guillotine is brutal, bro.
So good.
Brutal choke.
So good. Finishes Leon Edwards. Props to Sean Brady. Before that, we also had Carlos Ulberg versus Blachowicz. Anybody can miss that one. It's just fine.
Yeah, I figured we
It's
weren't even going
fine.
to cover that. I didn't
Nah,
even
Kevin
bother with the
Holland
slideshow.
versus Gunnar Nelson.
That was a
Kevin
fun
Holland
fight.
doing Kevin Holland things. That was actually a very fun fight.
Yeah.
Some long leg kicks for Holland.
Dude, that omoplata?
Yeah, dude. It was close, that first round.
Dude, that was nasty. Good luck omoplating anybody, let alone Gunnar Nelson. But that was nasty, man.
But it helped him get back up. When he gets back up, lands a long one too. Holland.
Oh, yeah.
Those long arms in where he just snaps at the
Got
end.
that whip.
Ooh, dude. But overall, solid performance. Kevin Holland.
Yeah, so he cracks him in that first round, drops him, and then just stands over him and lights him up with ground and pound. Oh, here's the
solid ground and pound.
omoplata.
Oh, this was one of my favorite parts too.
Yeah, because you know
Gunnar Nelson stands up and just holding on to Kevin Holland like that. And they both look at each other and start laughing.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah. And Coleslaw says Sean about the Leon fight. Sean Brady said, I usually don't take fights on short notice, but this one was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, we got
HLB
Comer.
Comer
Shout
here.
out HLB Comer, man. Talking trash about both the fighters.
Yeah.
But what else do we expect from HLB Comer, man? Sleepy Leon got Bilal. Hey, and Bilal went off on Twitter and he's like, Brady copied my homework, but it's like, no, Brady finished them.
Yeah, true.
So maybe he got some notes off his homework and then turned in a better assignment. We're sticking with the school theme. See what I did there? All right.
Yeah.
Anything else on this fight, Will?
No, but Chess was talking about Shauna Bannon. We will revisit that because we will cover that.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Meatball Molly versus Thainara.
Thainara with the worst knockout I've ever seen. Or not knockout, sorry, walkout. She's walking out to a London crowd that is dead silent, and she's dancing like they're going crazy for her, and takes all of 5 minutes for the walkout while she's dancing, having a blast while nobody is cheering or anything. It was very difficult to watch, and I was like, man, if she gasses in this fight, it's going to be an all-time hilarious move. But no, then she just ran straight through Meatball Molly. Because that's what happens.
Yes,
that's
absolutely.
where we're at. Yeah,
choked her out. Okay.
And
then she has to dive on the center of the octagon and starts twerking. I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah. Not Meatball Molly. This picture makes it look like Meatball Molly went to the center of the octagon and started twerking, but no. That's her.
Did she retire?
She did retire.
Oh, I didn't even pay attention to that.
Yeah.
I think that's probably when I walked away.
I mean, yeah. She retired. She gave a retirement speech. It was actually pretty hilarious. It's fucked up, but she gives her retirement speech. Pretty cool. It's in London, right? And she takes the gloves off. And right when they finish the interview, she's like gonna go and like put the gloves down, do the thing. Alexia's coach runs over and like pulls her over to take a photo with them and the team. And Molly's like, and then tries to leave, and they're like talking to her, and she's like, no. And she like has to like push away a little bit to like go put the gloves on the mat and like do that thing. And she's like,
jeez,
why would you not wait till after that to take the photo if you're gonna do that?
Yeah, read the room, y'all. Jesus. All right.
Hilarious.
We also had Duncan versus Vucenic.
Vucenic is cool, man, but he made some mistakes in this one, just like Leon. Actually, the same exact mistake as Leon. But this was a fun fight. I actually really enjoyed this fight. They cracked each other a couple times. They were swinging and banging. Duncan opens the fight with a body kick to same side punch. The body kick snaps him in the ribs, and then as he's curling from it, he hits him with this right straight. He uses the kick as the pendulum, where when you go same side kick to same side punch, you kick and you pull that leg back, and you use that momentum of pulling the leg back to then throw your right straight or whatever side it is. And it was perfect. And he just completely drops him immediately. But then it was a pretty fun fight. And then he's an American top team boy, so he jumped a Gilly, just like Dustin, and he got it.
Dustin with the awesome tweet saying, "Don't be
Yeah.
silly."
Yeah.
Jump that gilly, dude. Let's go. All right.
What a fun
Anything
fight.
else on that one?
This was actually worth watching. This is a fun fight.
Yeah, that was a good one. We also had Nathaniel Wood versus Morgan Charrière.
Yes, this was my most anticipated fight of the card. I really, really like Nathaniel Wood. I think Morgan is also very talented, and God, dude, I'm running on fumes, so I'll be honest.
Good feints, head movement from
Thank
Wood.
you.
He
Cracks him
slips
early.
a shot, yeah, early and it drops Charrière in that first round. Great reaction from Charrière, though, didn't overreact after getting hurt. Second round, more clinching going on. Both men did a good job landing some shots when they break. I noticed,
Yeah.
who's going to throw first right after that break?
Yeah, what I really liked the third round got a little so-so, but the first two rounds, mostly the second round. Because the first round he drops him with that big shot, and then it's a little bit of grappling for the rest of the round for the most part.
Yeah.
But the second round, they were literally just standing in front of each other, not moving, not circling, neither of them circling, and just trying to find and create angles and land a shot on each other. And the second round was maybe my favorite part of the entire card. It was really cool to see these guys because I know both these guys understand the game at a very high level, and just seeing them try to make reads and at these setups and then snipe each other randomly throughout that first, just standing right in front of each other was really cool. I did
Good
really enjoy
stuff.
that.
Good stuff. But Nathaniel Wood ended up getting a unanimous decision on that one.
Yeah,
Would have
was
liked to see more urgency from Charrière in that third.
especially in the third. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right. We're skipping a few fights. We're going to be covering Kavanagh versus Dos Santos.
Yeah, flyweights, bro. What can I say? This was a fucking banger, dude. Somehow this didn't win fight of the night. This was fucking awesome.
It was a lot of fun. Dos Santos landing some solid shots in the first. One
Dude,
of
he
my favorite
cracked him in the
moments.
first.
Yeah. Was it an elbow that cut Kavanagh on top of the head?
Spinning back elbow on the fence, cuts him open on the side. Where's Genevieve at? Because this one was bloody.
Yep, absolutely. It looked like he had a war paint on
Dude.
through most of the rounds.
And then, so that first round, he gets beat up a bit. Kavanagh does. Second round, he gets a takedown and beats the brakes off of Felipe Dos. They're literally like boxing. They're trading shots on the ground in guard.
How
And
about Dos Santos while in guard, like hammer fist, straight shot off his back, and then
yeah,
Kavanagh just smiles and like smashes his
starts,
head
yeah.
into his fist, and
This
just
fight was
like,
awesome.
oh, dude, it was crazy.
Yeah. Kavanagh just a
But
bloody mess, beating him up.
look at that! Doesn't that look like war paint?
Yeah, it does, dude.
It's
Yeah,
so
Chester
insane.
says both shorts were red at the end. Yeah. One of them had red
Absolutely.
shorts going into it, but they both left with red shorts.
But a fun
really,
fight.
really fun fight. Kavanagh, I think when they booked this one, this was another one. I thought Nathaniel Wood versus Morgan and Kavanagh versus Felipe Dos Santos. I thought those two fights are excellent matchmaking. I really like all four of those guys.
And we'll also cover the last fight here, or the
Yes.
last fight we're going to be covering, I should say. The fight that everybody was curious about. We had Bannon versus Phetjeeja.
Look, dude. The Chester was calling out the sidekicks. I mean, there's not much to talk about in that first round. A lot of sidekicks to the chest, a lot of weird referee moments and sidekicks. But then the second round is actually worth talking about.
I
'Cause
never
the second
wanted
round
somebody to lose so bad.
the second round was crazy, bro. Phetjeeja cracks her with a left high kick, just shin to chin, and like flatlines her with this high. I mean, look at that picture.
Yeah.
Takes her out with the high kick, drops her, can't finish it though, and is just kind of on top. Not really
With her
seemingly,
arms
yeah, not really.
straight down on her.
I mean, you can see it in this picture. It's just we're just on top, I guess, but no real like direction or like purpose. And because of that, Shauna throws up an armbar and fucking gets it. I mean, it was a classic call an ambulance, but not for me moment. It was crazy. It was
Oh,
crazy.
man. And that was it. We made it.
Yeah, there was actually a couple other fun fights, but Jesus Christ, we're not going to do it. Also, Bruce Buffer, not a great suit, if I'm being honest. Normally pretty good. If we're putting him up against Dom Lau with that pink tuxedo, it's not even close.
Oh, Dom Lau all day. Dom Lau all day. Yeah. All right. Hey, shout out to everybody that joined us in the chat today. Really, really appreciate it. Shout out to everybody that joined us both on the recap. Oh yeah, the bonuses. Brady, Thainara, and Bannon.
But I think it's weird that Dos Santos and Kavanagh didn't get fight of the night. That doesn't make any sense.
That was pretty weird.
It's a legitimate banger.
But Will, are you surprised at how many people that were part of the fight companion also joined for the recap?
Yeah, bro. I don't know how you guys are all doing it. I'm barely doing it. We have
Y'all
a lot
are
of
awesome
guys
though, for real.
Hey, shout out Chester. Let's go have a nap time, boys. We're gonna sleep until tomorrow. I did take tomorrow off work just to recover. I knew this was gonna be a fucking marathon, and your boy, haven't eaten since like 6 p.m. yesterday, and it's now 10 a.m.
Ooh, you gotta get some food in your tummies, dude.
I had some bulgogi.
There you go. Gabagool, you know.
Yo, gabagool, very different.
All right.
Yeah, thank you guys for bearing with us. This might have been a weird episode just because we're zombies right now, but it was fun. Austin says like I'd miss this peak.
Shout out to everybody that joined us though. Greatly appreciate it. Y'all make the show what it is, honestly. And like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're trying to reach to 20,000 subscribers. Storyofthefight.com shows you all the different links where we're available. Also, the merch available on there as well. But Will, special shout out to you, dude, holding it down since 2 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Is that what time it started?
No, midnight. Even earlier.
Midnight for you.
It was midnight. Midnight to 6 a.m. was that stream for me. Got 30 minutes of sleep and then prepped this podcast to start at 9. And Austin's shouting out that we got the 15,000 views on that fight companion. It was very cool. It was a fun one.
Absolutely.
One for the ages.
All right. And everybody might be wondering who produced this recap episode. None other than Mr. Richard Bustos. There we go, everybody. Hey, thank you for joining us for this episode of Story of the Fight.